Hey, all right, week 8. We are getting close to the end of the semester. It's like 3.5 weeks. For us, it's like 3 weeks and then one day when we take a final. So it's coming up pretty soon. Check and see how you're doing in the class. If you haven't done that lately, check on the My Grades section and just see where your average is. It's not time to panic or anything like that, but we've only got 2 exams left. We've got just a handful of labs and a few review quizzes left. So you just need to see where you're at, and if you've got any questions on what do I need to do to bring my grade up to a certain level, just see me and let me know about that, and I can help you and let you know what you need. All right. So for this week, we don't have anything on Monday. On Wednesday, we're going to meet and we're going to do the genetics lab. Now, I like this lab. I mentioned last week in class that we're not going to do anything hands-on necessarily. There won't be any equipment or like experiments that we do. But there's a lot of scenarios that we're going to work through in the lab book. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but this is by far my favorite lab that we do. It's really interesting. It's almost, I don't know if anyone plays Sudoku, but it's kind of like that. We're going to use Punnett squares, and once you learn the rules for like how you do it, it's almost like a game or like a puzzle where you're trying to figure stuff out. So be here for that. Now, we're going to do a review like we normally do, like at the very beginning of the lab. I'll kind of explain what you need to know for the lab, but I'm not going to have enough time to cover everything in the genetics chapter, so here's what I really need you to do. Before Wednesday, watch the Chapter 11 lecture video, because that's going to go through all the material that you're going to need to know for this lab to really make sense. If you don't watch that beforehand, like I'll explain enough that it'll halfway make sense and you'll be able to fill something out and turn it in. But if you've looked at the lecture beforehand, it's really going to click, and it's almost like a review session or a study session because you're familiar with the material. All right. So that's the lab this week. I just mentioned the Chapter 11 lecture video. You need to watch that sometime, preferably before Wednesday. And then Chapter 12 sounds awful. It says molecular biology of the gene. What we're looking at is DNA and how your DNA is used to make proteins, how your DNA makes copies of itself. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's a shorter chapter, but there's a lot that's packed in there. So watch both of those lectures sometime this week. And the review quiz for those is going to be due Wednesday, July 28th. That's the date of exam 4. So make sure you get those done as soon as you can, but you've got to do them before 8 o'clock on that Wednesday because that's when the test is, so they'll close at that point. All right? So that's it for this week. Just a reminder, exam 4 is going to be next Wednesday, so be preparing for that. We'll do another review quiz or a review day on that Monday. That'll be the 26th, I guess. So we'll have that just so you know, but go ahead and start studying on your own. Don't wait until that review day to study. All right? Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.